Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another awesome review, and today we're going to be taking a look at another special item, and that is the Jurassic Park 93 Classic Track and Explore vehicle set. So this is our first 93 Classic toy set reviewed on this channel. These are the new Kenner-inspired toys from Mattel in celebration of the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park for this year, and wow, this is awesome. I love the packaging, very Kenner-like, with the sunset and the shadows of the trees, and you got that really awesome Jurassic Park logo, and then you got the same Kenner font on the packaging like the other toys had back then, and you got a good shot of the toys here on the back of the packaging in an awesome diorama setting just like Kenner, and you got the cool logo and the action features that it shows and the cool little display of the other toys you can get in that awesome gray background, and the fact that the action feature areas have that red coloration at the bottom is just like Kenner. So basically the entire packaging here on these new toys are very Kenner Kenner heavy, I would say. They're literally taken out of the 90s, and that's super cool. Definitely want to hold on to these packages because they're how nostalgic they look for all these new toys. And you got some cool facts up information, which is the standard Mattel thing. And I like the cool JP30 logo at the bottom corner there. So really awesome. Super excited to have these in my collection, and I'm going to have a blast reviewing these on this channel. And comparing them with other Kenner items. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. Alrighty, and here we have the set out of the box. And I gotta say, this is a very awesome looking set. Everything about it is just really cool looking. It obviously screams, classic Kenner, but also classic Jurassic Park, and just everything about this is just pretty cool. And I'm going to say this right now, I'm really surprised they didn't give us a human character with this set, considering it's another vehicle and a dinosaur. They usually pair a human character with this too, but for some reason, I guess they didn't. But other than that, this is a really awesome set, and let's take a closer look at it. So starting off with the dinosaur, or the animal in this case, for this set, because this is not a dinosaur, but here we have the Scutosaurus. This is the exact same sculpt from Mattel's first attempt at this figure. The only difference is basically the colors, but there is more to that. There is actually a little bit more slight changes with the sculpt of this dinosaur when compared to the other one, which we'll get to there in a minute. But taking a look at this one, very nice looking. It obviously, the paint scheme is a homage to the unreleased Kenner version of this dinosaur, or excuse me, of this animal, because Kenner did make a Scutosaurus. Obviously, it was a different sculpt, but they had a similar color scheme, and I gotta say, the colors match it pretty well. They kind of, pay homage to it very well, but it's not pretty much identical. I'll go ahead and show a picture of what the Kenner one looked like. So as you can see, that's what it looked like, and then this is Mattel's attempt. And actually, Mattel had a very different paint scheme in mind. During the Beyond the Gates episode, they showed concept art of this figure that was actually more in the Kenner colors than what we've gotten here, and I'll show you a picture of that too. So yeah, so I don't know why they changed it. It could be budget reasons, I don't know, but it is kind of disappointing that they kind of gave us this more simpler deco on it instead of the one that's literally just like the Kenner one. But they got the colors basically well. I mean, it's enough to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's from like the Kenner version. But, the colors are very nice, very basic, but it does work for just another generic Scutosaurus, and I really like it. The sculpt work on this guy is amazing. All the amount of detail and the scales and the bumps all over this guy, especially on the legs here, are very nice. Very well done, Mattel. And the head's probably the best part of this sculpt of this animal. Very classic Scutosaurus, I will say. Very similar to like the Walking with Monsters version, if you ask me, at least in terms of the head. It's not exactly identical, but that's what it reminds me of. But overall, very cool detail all throughout this animal here. And the only thing that's really disappointing with this figure is not only literally the paint not literally matching their concept art, but the fact that they only painted this one row of spikes. Like, come on, Mattel. I don't know why they did that. I mean, they missed all these other spikes. They didn't paint them. They only painted these. I mean, I get it how the Kenner one only had like the two lower ones painted, but I mean, you don't really need to do that with this one either. But for what it is really cool. And here we got a scan code for this dinosaur, this animal. Excuse me, I don't know why I keep saying that. Scutosaurus is not a dinosaur, but here is the scan code. Articulation, this one has no action feature. It's just all articulation. So the head can move up and down, and it can rotate. And then the neck here can also rotate a little bit and can move up and down. So you can get some nice looking up poses and some looking down poses and some cool left and right. So a lot of cool posability with this figure. You can get some really nice looking pictures, and the arms here can just go forwards and backwards. Same with the legs, and the tail here has a little bit of articulation, not too much. This is like the same thing that they gave the action feature gimmick with the other one. Don't know why they even had that. They could just had that just sculpted in instead, but you know, it is what it is. But overall, a really nice Scutosaurus figure. We'll go ahead and compare it with the other one, which is this one. This is the very first Scutosaurus from Mattel, and I will say that paint is applied better with this one. You know, there's a lot more stuff painted, you know, the underside, and I like the stripes on this one, but also all of the spikes on the face right here are all painted, which looks much better than this one. I don't know why they didn't paint all the ones on this one. But it is cool to see both these together. It's nice to get a cool little group or a pair of Scutosaurus. Definitely want to get a picture of these two together at some point. Very cool. This one just has extra articulation in the arms right here that can make him pivot in and out. Then this one has the action feature with the tail. So there's like one little thing that is different. You know, notice how this one has all these bumps here on the side, okay, and on the top. This one only has it on the top. There is nothing here on the side here. It's a lot flatter, so there's no bumps. See, if I lay it against here, you can see there is nothing popping out from the horizon there, but there is on this one. It's kind of hard to explain, but this one has less bumps on this body. It's much more smoother, and this one is just all bumpy all the way around. So that's a really cool difference there. I didn't notice that before until I was fiddling around with this before I did this review, but very cool. I did not realize that, so very interesting. But you know, it is cool to get another Scutosaurus, you know, and just for a quick size comparison, you know, here it is next to a human, which looks fairly accurate in my opinion. So very nice there. Now moving on to the vehicle, the best part of this set. This is a very, very awesome looking vehicle. Another cool take on the Ford Explorer, but it has a lot more, I guess, Kenner vibes to it, especially with the colors and just the overall design. It just looks like an awesome action vehicle toy for kids to play with as they play Jurassic Park. And actually, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do, but this paint job and the overall look is actually based off of a canceled Kenner Jurassic Park release. I believe it's during Kenner's Jurassic Park Series 2 line, where they were going to re-release another Jungle Explorer, much like their one they released before, but has a different paint deco on it, which is exactly what this is. And I'll go ahead and show you the unreleased Kenner one. So as you can see, Mattel literally just gave us the canceled Kenner colors for this new vehicle. I think that is super cool. Obviously, there are a lot of differences here and there with the way the paint is applied and some of the other features, but overall, when you look at the design of it and the way the colors are applied, you can definitely see that Mattel definitely took that canceled product for inspiration for this vehicle, which looks really cool. I dig that. That is awesome. And I believe even during the Beyond the Gates episode, they were drawing a lot of concept art for the colors of this vehicle, and a lot of the colors really matched the Chaos Effect toy line, which was really cool as well. And I think it would have been cool if they did that, but this one's really cool too. I probably like this one much better in terms of those colors, and I actually would have probably preferred a new color rather than the standard Ford Explorer Jurassic Park colors. So this one works perfect. Just taking a look at it, it's your classic, Ford Explorer sculpt. You got a lot of detail on the underside here, a lot of nice detail on the tires. Everything else just looks cool. You got the cool lights back here. Everything here on the bumper is really nice. All the lights here are all stickers added on it that isn't like sculpted in or anything, but that's to be expected. A lot of nice detail here on the grill part. Very nice. And I like this on the hood. You can see the windshield wipers right there. And then a cool looking T-Rex little logo right here, which looks pretty cool. Very Kenner-like in my opinion. And here on the side, you get a classic Jurassic Park logo. This is the same exact logo that's on the original Ford Explorer. But yeah, this thing is really nice. And you got some more stickers back here, some more detail here on the inside. Nice detail here at the bottom. And you got a cool little launcher up here, which is also another classic Kenner looking addition. But yeah, this thing looks very nice overall. One thing I noticed that the side view mirrors can actually rotate a little bit, so that's really cool. I like this little like protective grill looking part right here, which can be flipped up so you can see the windshield, where people can look through. Then they can have this to protect themselves from an incoming dinosaur attack. So very cool. All 4 doors can open. This part, which you can see on the inside, a lot of nice detail overall. So a lot of classic detail from Mattel in terms of applying it to their vehicles, which looks very nice. All of the inside is like this dark gray color, which works pretty well in my opinion. And then same with this part right here can also open. You can see here everything back there. Nice sculpted seats. And then also the colors on the doors right here are actually stickers. This whole thing right here is actually a sticker applied on, which it's cool, but I really do not like stickers on vehicles because then you can't really put these in water or take some cool action shots in like muddy scenes, because then it's going to ruin the sticker. I've really learned that lesson with the first Jeep Wrangler that Mattel released. The stickers on those are already peeling off already. So I really don't like how they apply stickers with this, because that's kind of ruins it. But, it is pretty cool, though. At least, the paint look matches the one on the vehicle very nicely. Just kind of wish that maybe this whole design was just molded into the plastic, like how it is up here and everything. So that's kind of the only downside I have with this vehicle, and that's just the stickers applied here. And that's really it in terms of just taking a look at the vehicle overall. It looks really nice. You got this cool like little lasso area, which can just be stuck onto the side right here, but you can take it off and characters can hold it and lasso the dinosaur around this. It kind of gives me a Lost World vibes when they were capturing the Pachycephalosaurus. But that's really cool. And now for the main action feature part, it's with this gun turret up here, which can fire missiles just like that. And it can be applied real easily. But this thing can move in many different positions, so this little middle part right here can actually turn. If I can get it to match straight. So see, it can turn, right? It can turn basically all 360 all the way around. And then this part right here can also turn, this little gun point right here. Hopefully you guys can see. So those two things can move individually, which you can make it to the point where you can actually make your gun be lifted much higher than it originally is. So there it is. Here is the gun at its highest point. That's actually really cool. You can get your characters to stand up there and get some nice higher view shots of dinosaurs running, and to get a better shot at shooting them, especially maybe even a larger dinosaur like a Carnotaurus or something, where they can easily hit it with this cool tranq dart or whatever it's supposed to be. I believe in the Kenner ones it was supposed to be a blood sample missile. Maybe that's what this is supposed to be, so I'll probably refer to it as a blood sample missile, since this is a homage to the Kenner toys. So that's really it for the vehicle. It's a really nice one, and I I think it's probably one of the best vehicles I've gotten from Mattel, especially since it's a homage to the Kenner toy line, which I think is pretty cool. And as you can see, human characters can fit very nicely inside the vehicle. You know, you can get them to drive or sit in the passenger seat and sit in all the empty seats in the back. And then you can also stand them up on the gun turret up here. They got little peg holes for the characters to stand on and little handles for them to grab. So you can easily create some cool looking shots or have some cool looking poses of these characters shooting the dinosaurs. Alrighty, and for comparisons, here's the new Explorer vehicle compared with the other Explorer from Mattel. This came with the T-Rex breakout set. It came with Tim and a T-Rex. And this one's very cool looking, very classic. I really adore this one. You know, much like this one has a lot of sticker decals on it, which I really don't like. It kind of messes it all up, and you can't really play with this thing or play rough with it with like pictures or movies or anything like that. So that's kind of the only downside with these vehicles. But for display and I guess any pictures that don't involve water or mud, this thing looks really cool. And they actually look, I think they're about the same size. Obviously the only difference is color, and there are a few things that are different, like this one's missing the light that's right here, and this one's missing the little grill part right here. This one's obviously missing the gun, and literally the entire back half of this vehicle is like taken out just so it has room for this gun turret back here. But other than that, they're pretty much, oops, knock the camera over. They are pretty much, you know, the exact same figure or vehicle overall. This one's actually just a little bit taller. This little part here is much taller than this one, but not including the gun, of course, but just the overall vehicle. This one's just a little bit taller, but they are roughly the same length. But it is cool to see two classic Jurassic Park vehicles together. Yeah, which look really nice. Alright everybody, so that's about to wrap it up for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I absolutely love this little set. Highly recommend it, especially for those of you who are a big fan of the Kenner Jurassic Park toy line. And this one is just a great homage to it. It's really cool. It's almost like I get to experience what these toys were like in the 90s, but obviously in the more current world because Mattel is making these. But these are just really cool looking. I love the colors. I love the accessories and the cool little action features that everything has. So very awesome vehicle. I love the colors based off of the canceled Ford Explorer that Kenner never got to release. And then a cool looking Kenner painted Scutosaurus here. But everything is just so cool. Very awesome. So yeah, highly recommend this. And I'm going to find a good spot for this on the shelf, that's for sure. So that's going to be all for this review, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next review.